Good evening. Today we are going to start forced vibration of single degree of freedom system. In the previous video, we have seen free vibration responses of undamped system as well as damped system. Now we will move on to forced vibration. What is forced vibration? In the external force is acting on the structure during the time of its vibration, it is called forced vibration. And the response of a structure for forced vibration depends upon the type of excitation also. Excitation can be different forms. It can be a force, it can be an initial displacement, initial velocity, or a ground movement, anything else. So the response of structures to forced vibration depends upon the type of excitation to which it is subjected to. And the different types of excitations can be classified in different groups. So, the first one is simple harmonic excitation. So the forcing function Ft, the forcing function, dynamic force, the force varies with time. If this is of the form, say F0 sine omega t, this capital omega represents the frequency of vibration of the external source, the external forcing frequency. So if this is the excitation source, we call it as a simple harmonic excitation. Examples are the rotating machinery. When the machines are rotating and the foundation will be subject, the machine foundation will be subjected to vibration. So that type of excitations are called simple harmonic excitation. Then the reciprocating motion, the piston inside a cylinder in automobiles, that is also a reciprocating excitation. So we have to, as per the syllabus, we have to study the forced vibration response of structures subjected to simple harmonic excitation. So that the forcing function will be Ft. The force at any time will be F0 sin omega t. F0 is the amplitude of vibration of the external source, and this capital omega is the frequency of external source. Then second class of forces are non-harmonic excitations. Non-harmonic excitation. Here, the forcing function, it may be a function like this. The forcing function F at any time, say, as time varies, the forcing function remains constant. It may be an impulsive force which acts for a long duration or a very large force acting for a short interval of time. So this type of force, the forcing function F0, is acts for some interval of time. This is called a step input. That is one form of non-harmonic excitation. And the other one, the force is suddenly applied on the body and it kept for some time. Another example of non-harmonic excitation is say a force F0 is applied on the body and it is kept on the body for a time t1 and then it is suddenly withdrawn. So this is called a rectangular impulse. Another example is the force may be applied gradually. It may be gradually increased to a value F0 and then it is kept constant for a certain interval of time. So this is a gradually applied load. Another cases for non-harmonic excitation, the forcing function, it may be a function like this, F0, This is for a time t1. This is called half sine wave. This can be a forcing function. Then they can be forced like this. It starts from 0, gradually increased, and then kept for a time t1, and it comes to 0. So this is called a triangular impulse. So thus, the excitation source can be of any different form. Either it can be a harmonic excitation like this, or it can be non-harmonic excitations like a step input, an ideal step input, a rectangular impulse, a triangular impulse, a gradually applied force, half sine wave, etc. Now we are going to concentrate on the response of single degree of freedom subjected to simple harmonic excitation. So response means the displacement response. Okay, now I'm going to derive the expression for forced response or displacement response of a single degree of freedom system subjected to a harmonic excitation. So the figure represents a mass m. It is subjected to a harmonic force F0 sine omega t. Omega, the capital omega, represents the frequency of the exciting source, and F0 is the amplitude of the external source. There is no damping. We assume the case 1, there is no damping. So there is no dashpot. There is only one spring which represents the restoring force. So coming to the free body diagram, the mass m, it is subjected to a force k into x. The external force F0 sine omega t. Together with these two forces, I am applying an inertia force mx double dot. Applying the inertia force opposite to the direction of motion. The body is moving towards right, so mx double dot is applied opposite to the direction of motion. Now considering the equilibrium equation or the equation of motion, this kx in this direction. The equation of equilibrium or the equation of motion is mx double dot plus kx is equal to F0 sine omega t. Dividing by m, x double dot plus k by m. K by m is, we know, omega square. We have defined it earlier. K by m is the square of natural frequency. Omega square x is equal to F0 by m sine omega t. This is the first equation. So this is the differential equation representing the forced response. D square x by dt square plus omega square x is equal to F0 by m sine omega t. Now we have to solve this equation, the solution. So in the free vibration without damping, the expression was x double dot plus omega square x is equal to 0. We know how to solve that equation. Now there is right hand side is having one forcing function. So the solution, the complete solution for x will be having two parts, the complementary function plus particular integral. The complementary function, I can represent it as a x suffix c and the particular integral x suffix p. The complementary function xc we have already seen by putting x double dot plus omega square x is equal to 0. The solution is c1 cos omega t plus c2 sin omega t. So the complementary function part is obtained by putting the right hand side is equal to 0. c1 cos omega t plus c2 sin omega t. That will be equation 2. Now to arrive at that particular integral xp. Not to get that, the right hand side is the function f0 by m sin omega t. So let me assume the particular integral. The response of this system will be in phase with the external sourcing frequency. So let me assume xp is equal to a sine omega t, where a is an unknown which I will determine. So I am assuming this particular function in phase with the external frequency. So I am assuming xp is equal to a sine omega t. So the differentiating it, xp dash is equal to a omega cos omega t. And again, once again differentiating it, xp double dash is equal to minus a omega square cos omega t. Substituting this xp dash, xp2 dash, everything in this given equation, substituting in 1, I can write x double dot is minus a omega square cos omega t plus omega square into x a sin omega t is equal to f0 by m sin omega t. I can rewrite it like this: a into small omega square minus capital omega square, common factor from these two. This cosine, this becomes sin omega t. This is sin omega t. Sin omega t is common in all the terms. F0 by m. Therefore, the constant a is equal to f0 by m into 1 by omega square minus ohm square, or this can be rewritten as f0 by m omega square into 1 minus ohm by omega whole square. Now, k by m is equal to omega square. So, this m omega square is equal to k, or a is equal to f0 by k into 1 by 1 minus beta square, where this beta, I will define a new variable. Beta is equal to by omega, that is the ratio of the external source frequency or the exciting frequency to the natural frequency of the system, is called the frequency ratio. This is an important term in forced vibration. Beta, the frequency ratio, is ratio of the frequency of the exciting force to the natural frequency of the structure or the system. So, we will get a is equal to f0 by k into 1 minus omega square. Now, we have got a, so that I can write the particular function or the particular integral is equal to a sin omega t here. So, it is f0 by k into 1 by 1 minus beta square into sin omega t. Now the complete solution will be complementary function plus particular integral. Therefore, the complete solution is complementary function plus particular integral c1 cos omega t plus c2 sin omega t plus f0 by k into 1 by 1 minus beta square sin omega t. Next aim is to determine the constant c1 and c2. C1 and C2, as we have seen in the initial derivation of free vibration with no damping, that can be obtained from the initial conditions. So, to get C1 and C2, let us assume the initial conditions. At time t is equal to 0, initial displacement x is equal to x0, and the initial velocity x dash is equal to x0 dash. At the start time, if the initial displacement is given by x0 and the initial velocity is given by x0 dash, let us assume let it be 0. Let us say the system is starting from rest. The initial displacement is 0 and assuming the initial velocity is also 0, then putting t is equal to 0 in this expression, 0, this will become C1, all other terms will become 0, we will get C1 is equal to 0. Then differentiating this expression, x dash, C1 cos omega t will become C1 sin omega t into minus omega, C2 cos omega t into omega plus f0 by k into 1 by 1 minus beta square into ohm into cos omega t. So here putting t is equal to 0, put t is equal to 0, x dash into this is 0, this will become 0, C2 omega, this term f0 by k so from that I can get C2 is equal to f0 by k that's ohm by omega into 1 by 1 minus beta square with a negative sign. Now C2 is equal to minus f0 by k into this ohm by omega is beta frequency ratio. We can get the constant C2 as minus f0 by k into beta by 1 minus beta square. Therefore, the solution is xt is equal to C1 is 0. So it is C2 sin omega t. C2 minus f0 by k beta by 1 minus beta square sin omega t plus f0 by k 1 by 1 minus beta square sin capital omega t. So this is the displacement response of a structure subjected to harmonic excitation, or we call this as the forced response of an undamped system. So looking into this expression, you can see that the displacement response, it contains two harmonic terms. One term is having a frequency small omega, or the natural frequency of the system, and the second term is having a harmonic term with the frequency of the exciting source. So the total displacement response of the structure, it combines two different harmonic functions with different frequencies, different amplitudes and different phases. So if I split these two separately and draw this response diagram, say the first part, it is in the natural frequency of the system. The system is vibrating at the natural frequency. Okay, so this is vibrating, or the time period, the time for an oscillation. This time period will be equal to omega by 2 pi by omega. This part, and this is called the transient response. The part of the total vibration response involving the term of the natural frequency of the system, this will vanish. If the structure is having some amount of damping, this will damp out after a certain interval of time. But in the case of an undamped system, it will go on vibrating. This is the pattern. If you plot this along. If I plot this will be another harmonic function. And the time period will be two pi by capital omega. And this part is called, this is the vibration, the structure vibrates at the frequency of the exciting source. This is called the steady state response. So these two are two different harmonic variations at two different amplitudes and two different frequencies and two different phases. When we add these two together, the total response will be a totally non-harmonic function. This will be so if I plot x along this axis and time along this axis, the total response, when you add those two together, that will be a non-harmonic response. So, a structure subject to vibration, and if there is no damping in the system, the total response of the structure will be a non-harmonic response, and the first term is called the transient response, that is a vibration at the frequency, at the natural frequency of the system. Transient, that means it exists for only a short interval of time. In Malayalam we say kshanikam. കുറച്ച് സമയത്തേക്ക് മാത്രമുള്ളത്, അല്പസമയത്തേക്ക് മാത്രമുള്ളത്. So this is transient response which vanishes if there is damping, that you see in the next case. And the second term is the frequency of vibration or the response corresponding to or the vibration at the frequency of the exciting source. This will exist. This part will exist throughout the motion of the structure. Throughout the vibration, this will remain, and that is called the state response. And combining these two, we will get a response which is totally non-harmonic. Thank you. In the next video, we will be seeing the response of a structure subjected to harmonic excitation, and the structure is having some amount in the system or damped harmonic excitation.